We are ready to tip it. The winner will head to the NCAA tournament. Princeton ranked number 24 in the AP poll. And their net ranking number 22. So they're going to head to the NCAA tournament, whether they win today or not. But Columbia, they have a tournament berth on the line today. The intensity of March is underway. Princeton in the all whites with the orange trim, and Columbia in the grays. And that ball deflected by Princeton's defense to start things off.
You're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of woman-to-woman defense. That's a good start. The start for Columbia is very important. In the 2 meetings in the regular season, Princeton got the win on the early start.
Caitlin Davis, the natural lefty, going hard with her right for the first bucket of the game. Myers kicks it to Mitchell, and she takes too many steps. Head coach of Columbia, doing a great job. Megan Griffith in her 6th year, the alum, scored over 1,000 points in her career as a Lion. And is just 36 years old. Has put together the best season in Columbia women's basketball program history. 22 wins this season. And she's got her team believing they got a shot to beat the top 25 Princeton Tigers. The Tigers have been on a roll, Dan. They have won 40 games in a row in Ivy League play.
Well, they really have, and they have won it at both ends. This is a team that's very good offensively, has great leadership, does not beat themselves, really understands how they want to play.
Pushing through the screen, that's going to be Caitlin Chen called for the foul. That's her first.
You're going to see a lot of woman-to-woman defense at both ends. Keep an eye on the transition defense. This Columbia team can really, really run the floor. That's going to challenge Princeton, but Princeton has been so sturdy defensively.
Putting it on the ground is Noah Komesanya, but she's called for the walk. Here's the head coach of the Tigers, Carla Berube, 2nd season, well 3rd technically at Princeton with no basketball played last year. Took over for Courtney Banghart when she left for North Carolina. 17 years the head coach at Tufts and the former national champion at UConn with Rebecca Lobo and Jen Rosati. Here's Cunningham from deep, and she nails it.
Cunningham is an unsung hero of this Princeton team. You know, you talk a lot about Myers, and you can't help but notice Ellie inside, but her steady play is a real key strength to this team.
Here's Patrick coming off the career high 23, and she spins off the mark. Myers. Shot is off, and Davis will push.
Yeah, keep an eye on Davis. Very athletic, can transport the ball from end to end, right off her own rebound.
Got a high percentage shot on that right side, but the lefty couldn't cash it in.
I think both teams are playing a little bit fast right now. You're going to see them wanting to slow down just a bit.
Cunningham with her 2nd straight jumper, and it's 5-2 Tigers.
Not Cunningham. I tell you, she's got a good game speed. You just watch her play. That's a 7, I call a 7 speed. You know, not too fast, not too slow, just the right way to play defense, or offense.
Patrick working on Myers. She misses everything, and Chin collects.
Yeah, Myers has been good defensively. That's a hard matchup with Patrick. She's done a good job first 2 times down.
Well, and I think Columbia has to be pleased with the way they've started this game. Yes, they're down by 3, but they got blitzed in the first 2 matchups against Princeton. It was over by the end of the first quarter, essentially. They have to come out with some energy, and they certainly have done that.
Yeah, I think this is an ascending program in the Ivy League. And they look at Princeton, you know, each step they're learning something. The big question is, and you're seeing Myers get a foul there, have they learned enough in the first 2 meetings to get this 3rd opportunity? Just a great job. She is really clever. Take a look at that. She is, in watching her play, studying tape with her, she has the ability to cross the floor, have an awareness to finish for herself and to distribute. She's very uncanny at that.
She's an 80% foul shooter, knocks in the first. And certainly in terms of the foul line, Princeton with a major advantage. As a team, they hit 75%, Columbia just 62%. So if it comes down to points at the line, Princeton with the advantage there.
Yeah, excellent point, excellent point. I think defending without fouling will be important for both these teams. They have decent benches, but boy, their feature players are right there on the floor right now.
Abby Shue yet to attempt a field goal. There's her first, and she cans it.
Yeah, keep an eye on Abby Shue. She is fun to watch. One of the quickest releases. It's high, and she can score from just about a step from three-point in.
Yeah, the two Abbies in this game both have deep range. Abby Myers will try the three, and that one off the back iron. And Patrick with the board.
Yeah,
Abby Myers, Abby Shue, coach. They're both pretty special.
Yeah, they are, and they're going to be fun to watch. You're going to see Columbia in the half court. They're pretty comfortable, you know, playing in this, but it all plays through Shue right there.
Oh, tough shot over the outstretched arm of Cunningham is knocked in by Shue.
Yeah, you want to think Shue is just a catch-and-shoot player, but in watching her develop, she's a young player. She has the ability for one-bounce finishes. She has good size. She's a very hard guard for Princeton.
Yeah, you like her game a lot. Here's Myers to the left. Davis skies for the board. Here's Kitty Henderson.
Boy, Henderson is such a positive energy for this team in so many subtle ways. You're seeing number 10 with the ball right there.
Just a first-year player from Australia. Davis knocks in the jumper, so the Lions able to come out and hit shots, which was so key for them. They're on a 6-0 run.
Yeah, exactly. The start was, the first quarter was very, very important for Columbia.
Well, their fans are excited. You can see them behind the Columbia bench. They wanted a hot start, and they got it. Columbia with the early 8-7 lead here in the Ivy League Tournament Championship. Embrace that, Dan. They have never been to the NCAA tournament. This is their first postseason appearance as a Division I program. Look at that. Back in 1986, nobody here on the floor was alive back in 1986.
You know, they've got a fan base, too, that was very impressive yesterday. In the semifinals, I looked it up, 211 miles, 3.5 hours, no problem. They were here supporting the team. You can see it just growing and growing at Columbia.
Columbia in the heart of New York City. And Coach Megan Griffin saying that she embraces it as an alum. She loves the energy, the electricity of being in the heart of the city. And the three ball good from Grace Stone.
Timely play, well designed coming out of the timeout right there. Stone, another player that could really contribute to the totality of this Princeton attack.
Stone averages almost double figures, 9.5 points per game. Inside is Patrick and one.
Patrick is so quick from point A to point B. That's a straight line drive. You got a good Princeton defense, but you just simply can't rotate that fast when she's going to that point.
She missed her first two shots. Not this one.
No, she got there, had separation on the rotation. That's an important feature so she can get up and finish the play.
Can't complete the three-point play. That foul call on Abby Myers, the Ivy League Player of the Year, picks up her first. Knotted at 10 here in the first quarter. Cunningham off the hands of Mitchell. No, it says it was knocked off of a Lion, so it will remain Princeton basketball with 13 on the shot clock. Myers 0 for 3 so far in this one.
Yeah, you can see Columbia respecting the ability of this Princeton team to shoot the basketball, but extremely concerned about staying in place. There's a concentration right now that they want to make sure there's contested shots in their half-court defense.
Cunningham, pull-up jumper, pure.
Well, she has come out strong in this final game right here. She has been the ability for them to look and say, now that's the right speed to play at. She has delivered timely here in the first quarter. 7
points here in the first quarter for Cunningham, and a foul called on the three-point attempt from Abby Shue.
Good pick and roll. Just really, big game, no problem, man. I know how I want to play. I know I'm confident. She just eludes confidence as you look at her.
The 5'11" junior, the New Jersey product, captain of this Princeton squad, averages almost 14 points per game, but also 6 rebounds. So at 5'11", she's getting in there and doing so many things for the Tigers.
Well, you talk about Mitchell a lot, but the key to Princeton's defense is the group rebounding they get, the long rebounding pursuit. Myers rebounds, Cunningham rebounds. They got a team that rebounds.
And you saw the graphic on Abby Shue. She has made some history. Already the single-season record holder for three-pointers made in a season for Columbia. She's looking for the Ivy League record. Hasn't hit one here yet today, but just knocked in those foul shots. Cunningham off the mark. Davis with the rebound.
Yeah, Davis is impressive. Can advance the ball just like we're seeing right now.
All-in-one motion, knocks in the jumper from about the foul line, and Columbia looks very poised and very confident, Coach.
They do. Davis, first team All-Ivy League. You can see how she can turn defense into offense.
Caitlin Chin, pretty reverse underneath.
Oh, Chen had an incredible semifinal game. You're seeing an example there. She has the ability to get the spots on the floor very, very cleverly.
Jada Patrick losing the handle right in front of the Princeton bench. That one deflects off of a Tiger, and it will remain Lions ball.
Well, watch Davis. Now she's going to advance, surveys the floor, under control. Oh, free throws. I can make that, no problem.
That is a smooth-looking jumper on that one. Here's Shue working on Cunningham. Into the lane. No good, but the O-board put back in by Komesanya.
Yeah, keep an eye on her, another key contributor. She has the ability to get on the glass. We saw a great example of it right there.
A native of Vigo, Spain with the bucket. Stone trying to get it down low, taken away by Henderson. And now the tie-up possession arrow will favor Princeton.
Well, you got both teams really going at each other right here. Oh, I guarantee you there's going to be people on the floor for loose balls. That's a solid bet that's going to happen. I love the matchup of Davis inside and Mitchell guarding her. That is, keep an eye on that one.
Looking for the jumper, no good, and then Mitchell pulls down the loose ball. Well, Columbia with a 2-point lead. They were blitzed by Princeton in the first 2 matchups. A foul called on Patrick on the pull-up jumper from Chen.
Yeah, it's interesting to me see that Patrick is matching up with Chen, because that obviously is out of respect. Patrick has great ability to stay in place. She's got to make sure she doesn't reach too much.
Well, Champ Week rolls on at 8:30. It is the New York Life ACC Championship game between 7 seed Virginia Tech and number 1 seed Duke on ESPN and the app. I know, Coach, you've been just watching this. You love this time of year.
Oh, my gosh. The app.
So much basketball.
The app's always on. ESPN app's always on. My wife and I, 5 TVs, man. They're just got games on them all. It's the best time of the year.
Could not agree more. There's the 2 free throws by Chen. Knock this game up at 16. Shue, step back 3. Off the mark.
Yeah, good contest by Cunningham. Her length helpful in that situation.
Looks like a reach-in foul. It'll go against Caitlin Davis, and that is her second personal here in the first quarter. Well, she's going to have to take a seat, and Davis has been very good to start this game. She's got 6 points, 3 of 5 from the floor with 3 rebounds, but those 2 personals could be costly.
Yeah, that's a great point, and that's something that this kind of matchup, you need players like Davis playing their normal amount of minutes.
Chen looked like she changed her mind when she already got in the air, and the jumper off. Oh, and just picked off cleanly by Mitchell. Look at her turn on the jets, and she'll get fouled in the act and head to the foul line.
Yeah, that's not an anomaly. Mitchell can create defense into offense. Boy, she is just so quick to ball. She's so alert. She has quick feet, but she has great hands. And it's her length, that wingspan, she's just all over the basketball.
And now the second foul called on Jada Patrick. So Caitlin Davis already taking a seat with 2. And Jada Patrick getting whistled for the foul on Mitchell. Mitchell misses both. Shu gets it poked away by Cunningham. And now she triggers the 3. No, but the O-board by Henderson.
Yeah, that's exactly what Henderson does. She keeps plays alive. She is a constant energy within this Columbia offense.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Shu, short. Pratt, no good. And 12 seconds to go in the quarter. Cunningham takes it right to the hole. Can't get it to go. We'll see if Columbia realizes 2 seconds. Henderson lets it go, and that one is short. But what a ball game we have here at Harvard University. It is the Ivy League championship game, and we're all tied up.
I think it's a little bit disconcerting. Davis and Patrick are huge. Now they're going to take some time off in the second quarter probably with those 2 fouls.
We will see how long Megan Griffith, the coach of the Lions, can leave him there. Pretty jumper knocked in by Stone.
Yeah, Stone does a great job. That ability at the elbow to square up and knock that shot down, that's one of the things she does well.
Second time out of a timeout, they've gone to Stone for the jumper. An answer, though, the 3 ball hit by the birthday girl, Hannah Pratt.
Oh, yeah, you could see her use screening action to get to the 3 and great balance on that finish.
Myers 0 for 3 in this game. The rest of the team 6 of 10, and she's off the mark. Nicole Stevens onto the floor in place of Patrick. And down low, defense leaving Komesanya wide open, and she's got her second bucket.
Yeah, she's contributed early in this game, and that's one of the strengths of Columbia. They attack you very early in transition, and they are effective.
Oh, good take right by Komesanya. Stone, back-to-back scores.
Yeah, Stone, you can see her presence, not only a face-up shooter, she can put it on the ground, find the basket area.
Shu rising over the top of the defense. And Cunningham pulls in the board. Stone, the hot hand. They go to her now on the block. Fadeaway jumper. She's feeling it.
Well, she is. You're starting to see why this Princeton team is ranked in the top 25. They have several elements that make you really have to work defensively.
Henderson all the way, straight line drive for 2.
Well, there's a lot of determination in Columbia. You can just see it. Every situation they turn the corner and they are seeking the paint.
Well, they're having success against Princeton's defense. Not a lot have. Foul underneath, hard foul. Sending Chet Nowicki to the deck.
You can see that. That's a determined drive right there, and great execution on the finish. But 2 feet in the lane, if Columbia can get 2 feet in the lane, they're going to be awfully successful.
And there's no help from the weak side when you're in the middle and you take it straight to the bucket.
There is none.
This is Chet Nowicki, the 6-foot sophomore out of Stone Ridge High School in Woodbine, Maryland. She hits the first. Or rather, check that. Splits the pair. And ties things up at 23 here in the second.
You know, it's always interesting to me in these games, especially the ones that matter so much. There's going to be somebody that steps up that may not be the ones we're talking about. Let's take a look and watch this game. You can see some early candidates for that in the game.
The foul underneath, just it'll be baseline out of bounds. And when going against Maggie Connolly, that is her first. Into the floor now, Durr, and that thing gets wedged in between the rim and the glass.
Wow, look at that. That's perfectly placed, Elise. Look at that.
I don't think that's where she was trying to hit, though, Coach.
No.
Perfectly placed is probably not the way she would describe that.
No.
Rusiana Durr, the 6-foot junior. She's got another place for it to be perfectly put into. Shu can't find that perfect place either. That shot off, and Princeton clears.
Yeah, great box out and rebounding position for Princeton.
Chen will rise and fire, knocking in the jumper.
Just love Chen's ability at mid-range. She, for a young player, has the ability to get to those places, finish, or distribute with great consistency.
6 points for Chen. Did not start the first 9 games of the season, but has not left the starting lineup since. Steps called against Abby Shu. Ellie Mitchell was there in defense.
Yeah, Chen coming off a pick and roll here, realizing they go under the screen, so she just grabs that space, lands on 2 feet, jumps up and knocks it in.
But she's such a good mid-range jump shooter. Doesn't shoot the 3 like some of her teammates can. She's only knocked in 10 at 26%, but she's a really versatile scorer. Yeah, strong. Really got a powerful ability to finish. Stone called for the moving screen. That is her first. You think she liked that call, Coach? Not a bit, not a bit. But Columbia can speed you up. You know, this is an athletic team. It shows a lot in their transition offense, but it also shows in their ball pressure. They put a lot of ball pressure defensively. Whistle away from the ball. It's a hold. Sienna Durr clapping her hands together. So I'm assuming she's the one that took the contact. And you know, both teams now in the bonus with 6:17 to go. You know, fouls are a story in this game. The ability to defend. Can you use the foul line as an ability to separate offensively? That can often happen. Second foul against Grace Stone, and she will have a seat. Henderson drives right into a couple of defenders. Now Shu can't get the runner to go. Shu was 2 of 2 to start, now 0 of 7. Yeah, Cunningham is really staying in place with length on her, and it's made it very tough. Chen, tough make in traffic over the defense. Man, you gotta love that. I mean, that's just a tough-minded play by Chen. And she hustles back, cuts off baseline. And now the pick by Cunningham. Princeton, a 4-point lead, looking for more. Pratt falls to the ground, gets it to Henderson. She goes right to the bucket. Now passes out, Pratt. misses everything. So Maggie Connolly running the offense now for the Tigers. Chen for three. And that's her 11 made three of the season. She's in a groove, Coach.
Boy, and you're seeing Columbia go underneath her screens. And she is saying, okay, that's my wake-up call to step up and shoot it, and she has.
She's she's in double figures now with 11 is Chen, 4 of 5 from the floor. She scored the last 7 points in a row for Princeton, and they have a 7-point lead, their largest of this game. Princeton starting to emerge.
Yeah, she's having quite a tournament. You can see her impact. 'Cause I'll tell you what, if your name's Abby, I think defense was planned for you. Both teams, Abby Shu and Abby Myers, you can see both teams game planning.
Here's Chu, gets fouled in the act, and they're going to give her 3, I believe. Yes, 3 free throws coming up for Abby Shu. The way that she can rise up on that 3-point attempt, Coach, she's been fouled a lot.
And there's a little bit of tilt to it, but she gets it so high. It's really hard to get into her shot.
It is the second personal against Caitlin Chen, who, as we just mentioned, has been carrying the load offensively for the Tigers. And she is staying on the floor. Shu, just a 73% foul shooter, which is surprising for the way she shoots the three. A pure shooter from deep. And she gets 2 of 3. And is the first points for Shu in over 10 minutes. Chen using the screen. Back out to Connolly. Lions defense not giving any room. Step back from Myers, tough shot, and Davis back on the floor with those 2 personals, gets the board.
Yeah, great defensive possession for Columbia.
Davis in the lane. Looked like it was Myers trying to draw the charge, but instead it will be a turnover against Columbia.
Yeah. You know, Coach Griffith putting Davis back on the floor with 2 fouls. I think it's a good move, but Davis has to be smart.
Myers down low to Mitchell, fading away, leaves it short. That was the first shot of the game for Ellie Mitchell. The defensive player of the year has been really active in scoring the ball recently. Patrick trying to turn the corner, and instead it is a charge on this possession. Maggie Connolly drawing that foul.
Yeah, you're going to see a quick substitution here, but well, that's tough. That's tough. You know, defense in position there. That's debatable.
Jada Patrick will have to take a seat. That is her 3rd on the offensive foul. The transfer from Duke had a career-high 23 points in the semifinal win yesterday against Yale. So lots of foul trouble right now for the Lions. Chen, explosive first step, and she knocks down another. She's 5 of 6 with 13.
Boy, it just has been such a constant offensive threat for the Tigers.
Connolly getting in there to tie up Komesanya. And a little bit of extracurricular now. The referee's blowing their whistle. It's the second time we've had players hit the deck. And tempers have flared. And it looks like the officiating crew might go over and take a look at the monitor and see if anything gets elevated. I don't see anything there to warrant. So our officials today taking a look. Batu Sissoko Stevens, Teresa Stuck and Brandon Innerline.
Yeah, you know, you've got a situation where you've got two teams really competing. They got a held
Correct.
ball. You know,
That's always when it's time to, it's like a fumble in football. Good things don't happen at the bottom of a pile, Coach.
No, but as I watch that, it looks to me like that's going to continue to be a held ball. I'm not sure I see anything that's going to elicit a response.
Yeah, I don't think you elevate this foul.
No.
And our officials just making sure that just a tussle. I don't see an elbow thrown. I don't see anybody throwing a extra shot. So I think let's play on.
But it's something you got to take a look at if you're an official, and they're doing that. But what you see there is the desire on both teams for the basketball. You just got people that this game matters to, and that ball matters. Even if it's the second quarter with 2:53, every possession matters. That's kind of the mentality of these two teams.
Look, let's face it. It doesn't need to be said. This is the biggest game in Columbia women's basketball history. They win it. They're heading to the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history, and they've come out fighting. So, jump ball on the ground, but it's not like Princeton is going to let them have it. They certainly have played well, and they're going to fight right back. So they, I think, doing their due diligence, want to make sure that that type of play doesn't elevate, and the next time there's a jump ball, it doesn't get even more intense. But we play on, so that is the right call, in my opinion.
Well said.
Myers looking for her first bucket, and she gets it.
Yeah, keep an eye on Myers. I think Columbia's given her a lot of attention, but this player has tremendous poise. She gets better as it becomes more important.
Well, Princeton now has their largest lead of the game. They've stretched it to 9. Down low to Davis. And that is rebounded in traffic by Nweke.
Yeah, good crowd rebound by Nweke.
Connolly turns it over. Here's Abby Shue, has had very little room to work with. Look at that hand in her face by Chen.
High hands seem to be a popular.
Just misconnecting. The back door was there, but a tough catch. With Columbia, no field goals in over 6 minutes.
It's just impressive for me to watch Abby Myers and the presence she has in the game. You love the confidence. I don't care. You could throw away the first quarter. She gets better as the game goes on, and she is the best when it matters the most.
Cunningham was hot in the first quarter. No good on that try. And with 1:20 to go, down 9, Columbia needs to put something together. Davis kicks out Komesanya. And the offensive foul called against Komesanya.
Princeton's just so solid defensively that they're just staying in plays and staying in plays.
Yeah, they do not give up much of anything.
But that's really not a foul, Lise.
I don't agree with that call, Coach.
No,
I think she was still moving, and I think that she was trying to draw the charge.
Exactly.
Might have embellished it, but under 1 minute to go. And it's now 12 as Myers hits from deep.
When Myers, great job. She put the defender underneath the basket, came off a stagger. All she needs is a little space, and she can finish.
That's her first made 3 of the game, and a big one right before halftime.
Mitchell has so many deflections. When she's on the ball, it is hard to deliver an accurate pass.
We were tied heading into the second quarter. Columbia had a couple of players in foul trouble, and Princeton is pulled ahead by 12. They're looking for the last shot. 2 seconds between the game and shot clock. Cunningham trying to shake Shu into the lane. Too strong. Shu got it off in time, and that one right of the mark. So Princeton in command of this one at halftime. Their fans on their feet behind their bench.
Coach, you know, when you look at them statistically, you don't find any area to attack. I'm used to kind of saying, well, we'll go this way or attack that. I defy you to find it in Princeton. They're good on both sides of the ball.
And she has her 3 kids here with her. 3 kids under the age of 8 who sat behind the bench on Friday. She said, you know, I might need to move them. I'm not so sure that as a coach, they need to be right there. As right out of halftime, Columbia got what they needed, a 3 ball from Kitty Henderson.
Yeah, just a great ball movement. I love the swing of the ball. I love the presence. I love the speed. That's a good beginning in the second half for Columbia.
Back to single digits is the Princeton lead. Stone rims out, and Davis collects. Jada Patrick back on the floor with 3 fouls. And it's Davis. Off the mark, and Chin will push. Stone gets Komesanya in the air. Nice dish, but rejected. It'll be ball out of bounds.
Well, you can see when the Columbia team is whole, defensively, they have some real abilities.
Oh, we missed it. The baseline out of bounds play, good for the Tigers.
It was so good. It was that fast, Elise.
You're right.
But, you know, that's one of the strengths of Princeton. They do the little things well. Baseline out of bounds is a great example.
Davis trying to get it to Komesanya. And she takes contact on the arm. That'll be against Cunningham. Or make it Mitchell. That is her second.
Just fundamentally good blockouts right there. You can see them taking up space defensively and then having the balance to go rebound.
So 20 on the shot clock for Columbia. Henderson looking for Davis. What a pass.
Yeah, Henderson's been a spark plug here in the third quarter. Great penetration, finding Davis on that. If Davis can stay out of foul trouble, if Patrick can stay out of foul trouble, huge, huge stories.
Just the 3rd assist of the game for Columbia on 12 made field goals. So a lot of one-on-one action against this Princeton defense.
Yeah, they have such a feature of staying in plays and helping each other.
Tough shot goes down for Abby Shu, and that is a good sign for Columbia.
Sure is. And that was a contested shot. That's just a player making an offensive play in Abby Shu.
She's in double figures now, leads Columbia with 10. Myers from deep. That is just gorgeous release.
And you know what? I think I'd run that play again and again and again. Every time I'm seeing that, well, if it ends up with Abby Myers catching it coming off a stagger, that's got a great ring to it. Something good's going to happen.
She started quiet, but now at 10 points for Myers, and the charge drawn underneath. If that goes against Patrick, it's going to be her 4th foul. And that is going to send her to the bench. See a little frustration from Megan Griffin, the head coach of Columbia. She had 23 points, a career high, and has just come on strong in the second half of the season for Columbia.
Yeah.
4 fouls, though, and it's only the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. She's going to have to sit for a long time.
Yeah, that's a tough scenario for Coach Griffith to deal with because she's such an impactful player.
Fouled. in the act on the baseline is Chen, so she'll head to the foul line. And Princeton, that defense rotating over to take that charge. How helpful, not only because you cause the turnover, but because you completely change the game by drawing that, I believe it's her second offensive foul.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you look at Princeton's defense, and their ability to take up space, and that's what defense is all about, is exceptional. And whether it's a rotation, whether it's a block out, they're just so sound in those areas, and you're seeing it on display here.
Chen splits the pair, 3 of 4, the 5'9" first-year player on the floor, was here academically last year, so she is listed as a sophomore. This is her first time, Chen, playing in Ivy Madness. Davis gets cut off by Mitchell. That ball is deflected out of bounds. It will remain Columbia's with 20 on the shot clock. Watching Princeton's defense, Coach, they preach high hands. That is what they do defensively. High hands talk and play hard. Every time you see somebody on ball, their hand is in their face. Yeah, and
they combine that with great foot movement. They are still in plays. You don't see angles created by the bounce. They stay in place so well. And I'll tell you what, this Columbia team, and keep an eye on them because things can change. They are so good in transition, but they're going to have to get some stops, create some turnovers, and play out of their defense for us to see that transition game really come out.
Ellie Mitchell knocking that away and coming away with a steal. It's her third steal of the game for the Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year. Yet to score, she kicks it to Stone, and Stone has scored. That's her 12th point and her second made three.
Yeah, Ellie Mitchell on a great pitch from that post catch, and Stone looking very comfortable today.
7-0 run. Shu tries to break it, and it's off the mark. Chen, short. This is the largest lead for Princeton. And the rejection by Grace Stone.
Yeah, good basketball by Columbia. I thought they had good penetration points. I thought they shared the ball well right there, but just didn't come out of it with a score.
Yeah, that can be deflating when you do everything right and you still can't get a shot off. Chen, hard take, will head to the line. Kitty Henderson called for too much contact.
What great pass by Ellie Mitchell right there. Stone, hands ready, feet ready, delivers the three. Oh, wow, that both ends of the floor. You know, her ability right there, that I thought Columbia had done a lot of things really well and was about to score. No. That's what a shot blocker can bring you.
Yeah, Grace Stone, almost 10 points per game on average, 4 boards. Earlier in her career, she was more of a guard, but now playing the 4, so she had to learn how to score against bigs, and she's had some big games this year for Coach Berube. 17 points in the win against Florida Gulf Coast. The first win against a ranked program for the Princeton Tigers in 43 years.
Great rotation by Abby Myers. You can see, you know, Coach Berube talks about the improvement Abby's made defensively, and you could see that rotation and an example of it right there.
Ten on the shot clock. Chen rises up and knocks it down.
That's just a tough play. That's good defense by Columbia. You know, they got her outside the lane. That's contested. But offense will win in those situations when you got a player like Chen really in her zone.
Yeah, Chen really has the ability to rise up over the defense. She was cut off.
Yep.
And still got a high percentage shot off for her. Shu, she'll rise and fire. Oh, that is pretty. Oh.
I mean, that's a contested shot. Cunningham's got great length on her, but that's how good a shooter Shu is. All she needs is to have sight lines on that release, and she is excellent.
Columbia is going to need a lot more of that from Shu. Her first made 3 of the game. Mitchell, no good, but it does deflect off of a Tiger, so it will be Columbia ball.
Love seeing teams ascend at tournament time. This Texas A&M team that we're playing tomorrow, that's an example of a team ascending at the right time of the year.
So back to the Ivy League championship game on the women's side. #1 Princeton, #2 Columbia. Both of these programs have won over 20 games already this season. Princeton ranked number 24 in the AP poll. Up and under move by Davis, no good. And a whistle coming underneath. Looks like there was a hook. Goes against Caitlin Chen. That is her 3rd personal. So Chen with 17 points, 6 of 9 from the floor. She's got to put her hands in her pocket. Here's Shu over the top of the defense. A collision underneath. Chen caught up. And that one's going to go against Kitty Henderson. And a sigh of relief from Princeton, as the last player they want to see with 4 fouls is Caitlin Chen. That'll go against Henderson. That is her 2nd.
Big call right there. Big call. Could have easily gone the other way.
Myers has some space. Can't get it. See Cunningham denying Shu the handoff. One-on-one move underneath, and it's Nicole Stevens fouled in the act.
Yeah, what you're seeing is a Princeton defense that is forcing a lot of dribble drive action out of Columbia. You're seeing right there that foul. They're getting to the line. You can see, when I look statistically, the only area that Princeton is somewhat even is the foul distribution. They do foul a little bit because there are situations where they force a lot of dribble drive, and the plays like that could be a factor, but with this 14-point separation, it's just hard to get back in games, having to create on the bounce.
Stone has had a solid game, 12 points, 5 of 6 from the floor, but that's her 3rd personal, so she will take a seat on the bench as Nicole Stevens knocks in the pair, the 5'7" sophomore. Jen gets it poked away but recovers. And a skip pass, Cunningham. And Stevens just takes it away. Trying to draw some contact against Chen, but she let her go, and Princeton comes away with the ball. Yeah,
Princeton just really congests the basketball in a lot of ways. Nothing seems to come easy. But this is an important period. These last 2 minutes for Columbia, they need a run here to just kind of gain some momentum as they enter the 4th.
Nowacki flips it over the top of the defense and in.
Yeah, big time play. Big time play inside, contested. Great athletic finish.
A 6-foot sophomore with a big bucket. And miscommunication. Credit the defense. That won't go as a forced turnover, but it was with the denial on the wing.
Yeah, just to take a look here at this finish. Loved how she created space. Had the ability for a very skilled finish.
Myers elevates on the jump shot and gets taken out, and she'll earn 2.
The thing you don't realize about Abby Myers is she is a big guard. And it's hard to stay in plays with her. She's a good athlete, but to contest her, man, you've got to be in a stance at that moment. If you're closing out or she's got some angle, she has great length to finish with.
Another player for the Lions with 3 personals, Kome Sanya, getting whistled and is now on the bench. And Myers is a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and she's got 12. Dan, Columbia has just had a hard time with turnovers. They've got 15 to just 6 of Princeton. And the Tigers have 18 points off those turnovers. It's Henderson getting inside the lane and drawing contact.
Yeah, Columbia's done a good job, I think, getting to the line. Henderson's an example. Very aggressive curl cut on that with the catch. And they're getting themselves to the line. It's just they're having a difficult time getting their transition game going. And boy, are they featured in their transition game.
Mitchell whistled for her 3rd personal as Coach Griffith looks on.
Well, what a great job she has done in just building step by step this Columbia program in the right way.
So the lane violation means Kitty Henderson will have another. Down by 15. And 1 minute remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The 5'10" freshman from North Curl, Australia. And she makes Princeton pay for the violation. Hanging around, down by 14. A stop and a score to end the period for Columbia would be big. Myers under the defense with the left hand. That was creative.
I'm just going to let the action speak for itself. That put it in her left hand. It's just a player making a play, and Abby Myers does that a lot.
The Ivy League Player of the Year, showing off a shot I haven't seen yet.
No.
She's got a lot of tricks in her bag, though.
She does.
Four on the shot clock. I don't know if Pratt realizes it. Shu does. She lets it fly, and she hits a big one.
Wow.
Cunningham. And that one is short. So Abby Shu with her second 3 of the game, a big one in this game. It also ties her on the Ivy League all-time list for second all-time with Courtney Banghart, former coach of Princeton, who is now at North Carolina, played at Dartmouth. So big things for Abby Shu. It is a 13-point Princeton lead, though. And we've got 10 minutes to go. The creativity by Myers, but Shu rising and firing to keep Columbia in it. They have work to do, though, down by 13. So 10 minutes away from one of these teams punching their ticket to the dance. The field is expanded to 68 teams this year. Selection Sunday coming up. There's Shu looking to pull a little closer to Princeton. With the Tigers with Chen control.
Yeah, Patrick back on the floor with 4 fouls for Columbia.
Shu gets called for the foul. She thought she had a clean block out of bounds, and so Chen will get 2 foul shots. She hit 4 big shots at the foul line yesterday in that semifinal win, Coach. That went down to the last second.
See him coming. I don't know. That looks to me pretty clean block, at least.
And Chen out of San Marino, California.
I tell you, this young player game is maturing and improving almost game to game. And no better time, but she has been pivotal in the last 2 days for the Tigers.
Yeah, she's been so good offensively. Coach Berube said that she was a top 50, 60 player at a high school, played for Cal Storm, Team Tarasi in the LA area, and they just loved what she showed them. She's a pre-med major, but Davis with the bucket underneath.
It's going to take that. It's going to take offensive rebounds for Columbia like Davis just finished. It's going to take turning them over. Can they speed Princeton up a little bit? Can they get to the foul? And it's going to take a package to finish.
Cunningham gets into the body of Shu to draw two.
You can see the length of Cunningham right there. And very good on her first step. You know, she's been a key player contributing offensively, but her length defensively has been used a lot on Shu to try to make it difficult for her to find space to consistently knock shots down.
Cunningham, first team All-Ivy this season. Way back when she was a first-year player at Princeton, she was first team All-Tournament here at Ivy Madness. So she knows the drill, and she has played well here in these two games. Henderson kisses it off glass.
Well, Henderson
and Columbia won't go away.
No, Henderson is such a relentless addition to this Columbia team. She just makes plays. She goes and gets balls. She finishes in tough situations.
Stone. Too strong, but Mitchell there with the offensive rebound. And now the whistle.
How much fun is it to watch Mitchell rebound? I swear, that's worth the price of admission. Just to see her go get balls off the glass.
Well, the one thing Columbia has done very well is limited Mitchell on the boards. She just has 7, and Princeton as a team with only 4 offensive rebounds. That is a real strength of their team.
Yeah.
Chen into the paint again, but Davis pulls down the carom.
Davis advancing the ball for her own rebound, looking.
Open shooter, Patrick banks it in, and they're within 10.
That's only fair. Patrick has not been able to stay on the floor. Why not get that in? If she can stay on the floor in the fourth quarter and not pick up that 5th foul, what an addition to Columbia.
Bounce pass in the key to Mitchell. She kicks it out to Stone. That one slipped out of her hands. I think that just went right out of bounds for Stone, and so Columbia will take over within striking distance.
Yeah, you're looking right here. Favorable bank right there, but you can feel a little of the momentum right now. You can feel the crowd, the Columbia crowd getting into it. You can feel a little momentum shift here with 7:23.
Henderson working on Chen. Tough shot goes down. 7-0 Columbia run. They're within 8, 7 minutes to go.
Absolutely. Good timeout right here.
And the Columbia fans going nuts behind their bench. A 30-second timeout called by Princeton. That is their first timeout. They'll have 3 remaining here. Look at this, though, going right at the defense, creating space, and getting it to go. The Lions still around to Princeton by an average of 19 points, but they're here with 7 minutes to go, within 8. Kitty Henderson, a big player in this game, averages 8. She's already got 11. Chen out of the timeout with a pretty left-handed take.
Great ball reversal. Clear to side, Chen able to use the left hand for a timely finish.
She's got 21 on 7 of 11 shooting. Ball knocked away and another turnover. They have plagued Columbia in this game.
Yeah, that's been the story, Elise. The turnover situation that Princeton has caused has contributed to a plus 16 in points for Princeton.
18 Tiger points off turnovers to 2 for Columbia in a 10-point game. It is the story of this one so far as Chen gets fouled again.
Well, I tell you, you watch that, that's a great finish, but what you really see is a change of speeds. She changes speed so well on the dribble for a young player. That reminds me of a Becky Hammond-like play that fortunately I got to spend about 8 years watching.
And coaching? She made you look pretty good sometimes, Coach.
Made me look very good. And Chen's doing the same thing for Coach Carla.
Fadeaway jumper. Strong. And Patrick with those 4 fouls. Pushes. Cunningham has done a fabulous job on Shu, making everything difficult. Now it's Mitchell. They switch off with Stone on the leading scorer for the Lions. Shu. No good. And it will remain Columbia basketball, 20 on the shot clock. Tonight from Fort Worth, semifinal action in the American has Houston at 3 Eastern, 2 Central. It's going to be Penny Hardaway's Memphis Tigers matching up against the 2-seed SMU, which is in Joe Lenardi's last 4 in. Both games on ESPN and the app.
Boy, Columbia just cannot afford to have empty possessions right now. They really, this Princeton team does not give you anything. They take care of the ball. You've got to really deliver your offensive possessions.
Columbia needs to flip the table. They need some turnovers. Chen, pretty pass. Cunningham scores. What a connection.
Point guard with 2 feet in the lane. Something good's going to happen. Chen, time and time again, is delivering big plays.
Yeah, she could have shot that. She had an opening, but an easy look inside to Cunningham. Henderson denied by Grace Stone.
That's just great defense. I mean, that staying in plays, always in a stance, great movement on the ball, intelligent use of their hands. This Princeton team does so many things well defensively.
Myers swings it to Cunningham. 12-point lead, 4.5 minutes to go. Stripped of the ball, and now Patrick on the move. She pulls up, smart play with those 4 fouls, and she gets it.
Very timely play. You know, this Columbia team can create a speeded up situation. They can score in transition. 10 points is possible in 4 minutes for them.
Patrick shoots the lane, but can't get it. Instead, Chen rises, fires, hits, big shot by the first-year player, sophomore in eligibility, Caitlin Chen. Time and time again, Chen has been big. This time it's the delivery, the assist to Cunningham, but she's called her own number here. Defensively, the Tigers on point. They played well against Columbia, the number 2 seed. She had a career-high 27 points earlier this season against these Lions. As Princeton rolled undefeated through Ivy League play. They've won 40 in a row. Henderson takes some contact. Wild shot is collected by Mitchell, but they say she drug the pivot foot.
Yeah.
Princeton, they're such balance on their roster. Ellie Mitchell has yet to score in this game, and yet they have a 12-point lead.
But she's impacting the game. Great slip by Patrick.
Patrick scores on the baseline out of bounds play, and it's a 10-point game.
Boy, it's about 3 stops now. Can you have a run defensively where you're playing out of your defense with 3 straight stops? A lot of coaches work on that. Really called for here by Columbia.
Cunningham gets into the lane, draws contact, and she will head to the foul line.
Number 35, Abby Shu, that's her 3rd.
And that is the difficulty of Princeton, Coach. One possession they go to Chen, the next they go to Abby Myers, Stone, Cunningham. The balance of players that can create their own shots is impressive.
Exactly, and that's when you start talking about top 25 teams, you're talking about those kinds of elements. And you're exactly right. There's a balance to this team defensively. There's a balance to this team offensively. And there's a balance in their pace from one end to the other. And that's why they are a team you don't want to play in the NCAA tournament.
They are ranked 24th in the AP poll. And Charlie Cream has them as a 10 seed, or did before this tournament started. And here's Shu. 5 of 18 from the floor now. That defense has just been suffocating.
Yeah.
The pressure extended by Nicole Stevens. And the foul. That is the 5th foul on Columbia, so Chen will head to the foul line.
You know, fouls have been a little bit of a story today. You know, the ability, Columbia happened to, in the second quarter, had to sit Davis, had to sit Patrick in situations. Princeton has done a good job of getting themselves to the line. You know, they're in the bonus right now. That is very much, the foul line's been a separation factor, as well as turnovers that have led to Princeton scores.
Chen gets both, an 82% foul shooter, and she has been clutch here at the tournament. She has scored or assisted now on 10 of the 13 points here in the 4th. Patrick rises and hits. And a quick timeout called by Coach Griffith. This one's still in the balance, but Columbia has a lot of work to do. '24th ranked Princeton. Chen, baseline, cut off, but flips it to Mitchell, and that shot deflected, and Davis pushing tempo. They got to move quickly. 2 minutes to go, down by 11. Patrick slices into the lane, foul on the ground, and that is the first foul of the quarter against Princeton.
Yeah, going to go to the line. That is a good way for comeback situations. You can see the impact of Patrick, the ability for her to create those athletic plays within the Princeton defense.
Well, I take that back, as they are in the bonus. On the scoreboard, they had 1 foul, but in the bonus, Patrick heads to the line. Knocks down the first, and it's a 10-point game. 9. And the full court pressure applied by the Lions. Patrick with 4 fouls, so she's not going to be able to reach out. Stevens knocks it away, but Chen recovers. 10 on the shot clock. Oh, that is clutch. Another jumper hit by Chen. How good is she?
Oh my gosh, just middle of the floor, a very, very difficult guard.
And now the collision. Cunningham knocks the ball away. Davis comes up limping, and it will be Princeton basketball. Chen tying her career high of 27 that she set against Columbia earlier this year.
Yeah, her ability to play in the lane, her ability to make plays at the end of an offensive possession has been so incredible.
So they're looking on the review of who this ball deflects off of. You could see why Davis was limping. She stepped right on the shoe of Cunningham, and
exactly.
Oof, boy, that just sends shivers down your spine. If you've ever played basketball, that is not a good feeling for either player. And for Columbia, down by 11, less than 90 seconds to go. They're already in a huge hole. They need this ball desperately.
Yeah, you can see Davis coming here, turning the corner, but that's a great example of what I think Princeton has done all day. You know, they have moved their feet. They have stayed in the dribble and forced Columbia to have to play on the bounce. But even with the bounce, there was not a lot of separation. They move their feet, they stay in plays. They've been pretty disciplined with their hands.
And if you look at this review, Coach, I think it bounces off of Cunningham's knee.
Yeah, I think it's Columbia ball.
And this is tough with the collision. Davis.
Right there. You can see that deflection, the angle of the ball coming down. Look at the knee right there. That bounce looks odd, but boy, it's hard to.
Yeah, I think it goes off the knee pad of Julia Cunningham.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to stay with that.
So that was initially called Princeton basketball, and so it will remain Columbia's. We just got the official word, so Columbia hanging on for dear life. Down by 11.
This is a young Columbia team. They are going to be a factor in the Ivy League for a while.
Patrick gets fouled, and that's one that you do not want to commit. Grace Stone, no time coming off the clock. And the Lions will have 2 free throws, and not only that, but that is the 5th personal against Grace Stone, so she is disqualified. Great game for Stone.
Yeah.
She exits with 12 points, 5 of 8 from the floor.
You can see the positioning of Princeton. 2 players on Davis.
A good hustle play by Shu to keep that alive, but it is a turnover anyway. And Caitlin Chin just wants to work that clock. Princeton ready to celebrate their 3rd straight Ivy League tournament championship. The last 2 have been canceled. It's been a long time since the Tigers could celebrate. The block called. I think 2 feet were in that circle. So once again, Chen, smart play, working the clock.
Well, Princeton is so good in the time and score situations. You can see this team is on a winning streak, that they are very confident. Turning the corner, the rotation just can't get there. Again, she's in the lane. But they use the clock in time and score situations with great intelligence. You know they've played with the lead in a lot of games, and they know how to finish.
How about the career high with that free throw for Chen? 28 points in the Ivy League tournament championship game. 28 points on 13 shots. And the block there, Nowicki. And Princeton comes away with it. Shu will reach out to foul. And this one is all but in the books. Princeton's fans start to get up and cheer on the Tigers.
Yeah, Patrick, great penetration right there. But the length, the ability for those high hands to stay legal. You know, a very disciplined Princeton team defensively. We're watching play.
So Cunningham already with 14 points, 3 of 4 from the line, hits the first.
And I thought Cunningham was very important early in the game. I thought she came in there with a presence. You know, she was, her freshman year, she was an all-tournament player. I think she thrives on these kind of tournament atmosphere and got Princeton off to a good start.
Yeah, Cunningham, the improvement for her is one of the big reasons why the Tigers have been so tough. Under 5 points per game as a freshman, and then as a sophomore, 8 points. This year as a junior, Cunningham, 13.5 points per game. Her rebounds have increased every year. She's rebounding at a high clip, almost 6 boards a game. and she is so steady for that Princeton squad. Now they can smell it now, Coach. Carla Berube giving her team some encouragement. I don't think she's going to let them start smiling quite yet. 41.7 seconds to go, but a 14-point lead. You've been there, Coach, when you can sense it. You leave the timeout. Everybody's feeling good for the Tigers right now.
What's impressive to me is that I think there's a lot of leadership at both ends of the floor for Princeton. You know, it starts with the coaching staff, but you see it coming out of their leaders on the court. You can see the poise they play with. You know, and we could really see it on display yesterday when they got tested. And this Columbia team tested them too, but I'll tell you, Princeton is good.
Shue looking for the 3 ball, and Princeton recovers the rebound and gets fouled. And so they get to walk the best walk in the business, a slow one to the foul line to pump in some more free throws. You see Abby Myers point to some of the fans here. 14 points for Myers. The Ivy League MVP, one of 3 captains. You mentioned leadership. Coach Berube said she has taken her game to another level this year. And her leadership with the squad has made the Tigers so much better. And she said she just cares about everybody on this team. Also, academic All-Ivy. Impressive resume for Abby Myers.
Exactly. And, you know, you got to tip your hat to Columbia, too.
Absolutely.
What Coach Griffith has done with this team, they are going to be around. This is a young team that has ascended to the finals. They're going to be back.
She is not shy. She said, some people may call me overconfident. And I love this from Coach Griffith.
Yeah.
She's 36 years old. She took over the job at Columbia, her alma mater, when she was just 31. And she said, hey, we're the future of this league. I was there to experience Columbia as a player, and no one is going to outwork my staff and I, and we are going to be here for years to come. This is their first tournament appearance in the Ivy League, not just championship, but semifinals in the tournament. It hasn't been around that long. They've never won the Ivy League championship.
No, and this is a team that's going to return and going to return for a couple years and a lot of great pieces. So, wow, the Ivy League's going to stay strong as you see teams building like this.
Looking for the lob to Davis. And Mitchell just taps it to Chen. You mentioned the talent coming back for Columbia. These 2 squads right here, they're building just 2 seniors for Princeton. One of those, the Ivy League Player of the Year, Abby Myers. And for Columbia, Abby Shue, just a sophomore.
Right. Patrick, a junior. Davis.
Kitty Henderson, a freshman. So
yep.
a lot of talent all over the roster that it will be coming back for both of these squads. The rest of the Ivy League shaking their head.
Yeah, Henderson, I thought, was impressive today. She had a lot of presence for a young player in a title game.
Well, Columbia was trying to do what's only been done once in Ivy League history, and that was to make this a 2-bid conference. Has Princeton squarely in, regardless of the outcome here today, but they wanted this ring. They wanted the Ivy League tournament ring. They were the regular season champs. And you look up at the scoreboard in a much different way to get to this margin. They beat Columbia in the first 2 matchups by an average of 19, and it's 18 points right now, but this game felt competitive all the way up until these free throws down over the last few possessions, Coach.
No, exactly. And I'm a big believer in you learn things on the road you're on. And this Columbia team, it will be disappointing that they're not finding a way to win their 3rd, but they're learning things on each of these steps. But the thing that Princeton does, they have learned who they are. And they get tested, but they answer those tests with a real confidence about who they are.
Mitchell getting tangled up with Davis. It's the 4th foul on Davis. She had those 2 quick personals in the first quarter. It was tied at 16 after 1 here today, but Davis had 2 personals. Patrick got in foul trouble in that second quarter, got away from the Lions. And that has been the difference in this one.
Yeah, Davis is a player to keep an eye on. She's ascending and figuring out her game and how it fits in Columbia. And I look for her to really explode in the next coming season.
Yeah, really athletic junior out of Norwalk, Connecticut. This has been a well-played game and exciting Ivy League tournament. Ivy Madness living up to the bill.
Yeah, you know, I've been to a lot of tournaments, and I got to tip my hat. I have really enjoyed being first time here. I have really enjoyed the execution of this tournament, the players, the coaching, the fans. It's been a great environment for a tournament.
Chen dribbling away from the pressure. Nobody's been able to catch her in this one. The career high, 30 points for Caitlin Chen. She's got the ball in her hands. And the Tigers can celebrate. They're heading dancing.
That says it all right there. That's a team you don't want to draw in the NCAA tournament. Good at both ends, confident. They're not done.
I just love it in March. So much hard work, sacrifice. In the Ivy League, they missed this tournament the last 2 years in a row. Very challenging. A lot of those players had to make a decision of whether or not to burn eligibility. There are no red shirts in the Ivy League. And they had the bye. Caitlin Chen came to Princeton, took classes last year. And that took a year of her eligibility away, but she is a pre-med student that wanted to get her academic situation going. But such an impressive team on and off the floor for these Princeton Tigers. They have a lot to be proud about.
Yeah, so many players stepped up. You know, you look at Abby Myers, you look at Cunningham, you look at Mitchell, who did so much, you know, at the defensive end to create it. You had good play by Stone. But Chen, her ability to impact the game, boy, that's a lead story, you know, and for a young player, that's not easy to do.
Now this Princeton Tiger team knocked off their first ranked opponent in the non-conference season, Florida Gulf Coast. A long history of success from Florida Gulf Coast. They beat them for the first time, a ranked opponent in 43 years. And they are the real deal, Coach.
Yeah, this is the best part, to watch the elation of all the hard work, the regular season. They took a challenging preseason and turned it into a learning process that included a run through the Ivy League, and now they are the champions of the Ivy League Madness tournament.
A lot of smiles, feeling good. You mentioned it. They are going to be a hard out in the NCAA tournament. They may not be big, but they're physical, they are smart, and they can guard. Their tallest starter is 6'1" in Ellie Mitchell. But I guarantee that nobody is going to feel good about matching up with the Princeton Tigers in March Madness. Selection Sunday tomorrow. They will find out where they will be heading, but the Tigers are going dancing. For Carla Berube, the head coach of the Tigers, what a moment for her. Took over Princeton for Courtney Banghart, who left for North Carolina, and has put this team back in the NCAA tournament. And she sits down with us now. Carla Berube, what a game for you guys. What a run. What a season that it has been. What jumps out to you that you're thinking about right now?
I'm just so thrilled for my team, the program, our alums. Thinking about, Bella and Taylor in 2020 when we didn't even get to have the end of the season, and just those that came before us that laid the groundwork. This group has just been so resilient and has worked so hard to get here, and they were just dialed in, locked in today, and just had a great evening. Columbia gave us a lot of trouble, but we made the shots, we made the stops, and I thought, Caitlin Chen she's just special. Yeah.
Made the shots, got the stops. That's a good formula, Coach. You mentioned resiliency. I don't know if people have any idea of what you've been through as a head coach, taking over during the protocols, missing an entire season, just having to sit and watch. And now you're here, and you're able to celebrate. Does it mean even more?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty surreal. Yeah, at this time last year, I was just sitting at home watching everybody else enjoy these moments. So, we've just played with, came back just feeling so grateful to be back together. I mean, that's what we're all about, is just the togetherness and to be able to just work every day together, be at practice, be on the bus, team meals. It's so much fun being with this group, and I'm just so proud of this championship, and looking forward to us keep playing.
Coach, you're going dancing. What do you think about that? It's the first time in your career you're going to the NCAA Division I tournament.
Yeah,
What's it mean?
I'm just thrilled. Like I said, it's all about my players, and my staff works really, really hard, and we just have a great support system around our team too. So I'm just thrilled for everybody. I think my family is pretty excited too that they might go on a plane, and so it's I'm just thrilled.
Well, it's been fun. Congratulations, Coach. We'll let you go celebrate with your team.
Thank you so much.
You bet. That is Carla Berube, the head coach for the Princeton Tigers, and they are going dancing. Look at those smiles. That is what it is all about. They have been through so much over the past couple of seasons, and a shout out to all those former alums of the team that are watching on and smiling. They're going dancing. It is March Madness. It is the Ivy League Women's Tournament champions, your Princeton Tigers. They've been good all season, and they proved it today. The cherry on top. For Dan Hughes, I'm Elise Woodward. What a game. Princeton is your Ivy League champs.